When I'm making art, I try to be as upfront and personal as I can, without making it too simplified. I think it only comes from, long years of experience, of trial and error, eventually saying, yeah, this is the one, this is the one I want to make. One of my earliest memories is of sitting at a table in my grandmother's house drawing, and the sun coming in through the window and thinking how amazing art was. My parents were not at all art people. It wasn't until I went to grammar school at age 11 that I really encountered images of art. I had a brilliant teacher, Mr. Heppel, and he encouraged me to apply to art school. My foundation year in Leeds was pivotal because I really discovered then the power of art. I understood that artists have a strong voice in our culture. By that time, my son was 3 years old. I certainly felt very different from the other students because I was going through art school with a young child. I felt I had to work harder. I felt I had to stay later. I don't think I was treated seriously by my male tutors at the time. One guy said to me, "Oh, you can't sew because that's not fine art." I was really angry that I was told I could not do something. And that made me really want to do that thing. I refuse to have anyone tell me what I can and cannot do. When I eventually got into teaching in the murals department at Glasgow School of Art and then environmental art, I just knew I had something else to offer, than the experiences I'd had as an art school student. One thing I knew was that I could do better than the blokes who were teaching me, who gave very little in the way of critical comment or debate or support or any of the things that I thought art education should offer. So I embarked on it with a passion, and I haven't regretted a single thing about it. Even if it meant that my own work had to take a back step for a wee while. There are many strands to my work. My God, the list is endless. Politics is exceedingly important to me. I'm concerned about the damage human beings are doing to our planet. Interest in representations of the female in maps and mapping, the body as metaphor for landscape. All my life I've seen the thisness in that and vice versa. So I could look at a map of Glasgow and see the innards of a heart. I could look at arteries and veins in the heart and think of trees. Everything for me comes down to metaphor. The first really significant exhibition of my work was in 1987, entitled Why I Choose Red. The title came from a Hugh McDermott poem, where he goes through all the reasons why he chooses red, which are very political. But at the end he says, "But best reason of all, a man in a red shirt can neither hide nor retreat." And in my head, I always changed this into a woman in a red dress can neither hide nor retreat. Because I really felt at the time that I needed to stand up and nail my colours to the mast, as it were, and make work that was against the kind of misogyny that I felt at the time. There were 5 warrior women, twice life size. It was trying to make images of women as heroines, as pioneers, as something other than, dogs' bodies. I wanted to make work that was feminist with a capital F, because so much of my time in art education has been trying to stem the tide of opposition to feminism, which was prevalent in the 80s and 90s. They were a kind of call to arms of the female sex, a suggestion that we should oppose certain forms of oppression, of misogyny, of whatever. And yeah, celebrate our potential power. I was pretty happy with that show. Possibly the first time I didn't feel like an imposter. I got a residency. When I came back, a lot of the work from my Why I Choose Red show had been destroyed. It seemed like they'd been told to empty various places of work, rubbish, whatever. And so a lot of it went in the bin. It was a real blow to have what I knew to be a really seminal, important show of my work had been destroyed. It was a really difficult time. However, you can't stew in those sorts of aggravations. You just have to move on and make new work and, try and put these things behind you. And yeah, so I did. I have sketchbooks that I have kept up for years that list things that are really important when I'm making art. And my mantra from 1980s, passion, imagination, conscience. I think art as a whole, and by that I mean all the artists in the world, can have a force for good, but not one individual. I just always remember Robert Motherwell, abstract expressionist, American artist, who said, as an artist, I don't think I'm able to change anyone's mind about anything, but as a man, I'm prepared to man the barricades. And I think of that very often when I think of myself. I don't think my work is going to change anybody's mind about anything, but as a person, I will man the barricades.